Hello, everybody, and welcome to TimeXtender Tuesdays, episode 17, where we're going to be designing bridge tables for many-to-many relationships. Now, I get this question a lot from a number of different customers and partners and how to design many-to-many relationships, both in the data warehouse, but also in analysis services, tabular, and Power BI models. How do we do that properly? So we're going to walk through that today. First, let's understand what is a many-to-many relationship. Well, there's a few different examples. One of the examples that I like is because it makes a lot of sense, is understanding the relationship between a patient and a diagnosis. So let's say you're a healthcare system, you're a hospital, right? And you have your patient admissions, right? You're building your data warehouse, and so you have a patient, your admissions table, which is going to be your fact table, patients coming in and going out, and then you have your patient table, right? Many different patients listed in your patient dimension, right? And then you have a diagnosis dimension, so two different dimensions, patient and diagnosis. So how do you bring this together? How do you model this in a true dimensional model? Well, it's a challenge because multiple patients could have multiple different diagnoses. So this is what's known as a many-to-many relationship. So let's take this example here on screen. We see this little blue guy, right? He could come in with a lung infection, a fever, and a virus. And then there's the orange guy who may just have a lung infection and a fever. So that means that both patients have both the lung infection and the fever, but one of them has three, right? So how do we do this properly if we just simply denormalize this, right? If we take all of the diagnoses, denormalize them down to the patient level, it's not really going to work very well because we'll end up with duplicate entries in the patient dimension in order to show all the proper diagnoses. Now, we could add multiple columns to the patient dimension, have diagnoses 1, diagnosis 2, diagnosis 3. The problem with that is you never know how many columns that you might need to add. It creates a lot of overhead on the data warehouse, adding a column each time. And then, of course, many patients might have a lot of nulls for only those that only have a few diagnoses. Let's take a look at another example. This is the example we're going to be looking at today in TimeXtender. A great one here is products and offers. So let's say you're a marketing department and you want to analyze how successful your different marketing offers, your different sales or clearances that you're posting on your products. You want to see how successful they are. So you want to analyze your different products by the clearance that might be happening at the time. And so we can look at this. The problem is, of course, any product could have multiple different offers, and offers can apply to many different products, same as the patient/diagnosis example. So let's look deeper into the offers and products example, and let's see how this would break down with the actual data values themselves. So looking at this many-to-many relationship, we have the products table on the left, and we have just two entries. Pretty simple here. We have a mountain bike. It's a model 500 mountain bike, and we have a large helmet, right? So we have two products. And then we have on the right hand, special offers. So we have a mountain bike sale. We had a sale that all mountain bikes went on sale. And then we have a winter clearance, right? And the relationship between these, so here we are. We have the many-to-many relationship here. We have products and special offers. And as you can see, the mountain bike has been part of the mountain bike sale, but also part of the winter clearance, right? And then we have the helmet, which was only part of the winter clearance. So we have this kind of many-to-many relationship. The winter clearance applies to two items, right? And mountain bike also applies to two of the opposite items. We couldn't really denormalize this. If we attempted to denormalize this, we may end up with a table that looks kind of like this, where in this case, we'd have to list mountain bike twice to have both mountain bike sale and winter clearance listed there. or alternatively, we could add additional columns. But again, we quickly run out of time to just continue to add columns to our database. Another common mistake that I see here is improper relationships. So another assumption that's often made is, products is closer to the fact tables, closer in that star. And so you're going to denormalize and you're going to do these relations where you have special offers being the one. Then we go to the mini, which is the bridge table in between. So here we can see the bridge table in the middle. And then again, from the one to the mini going to the products. But it's actually not like that, right? Because as we can see here, if we look on the products table, there's only one product per line item. And then on the special offers table, there's only one product per row in the special offers table. So the correct setup would be to set it up like this, where both products and special offers are the one side of the relationship, and the bridge table is always the many side of the relationship. Right, so let's take our first example here. On the left side, products to our bridge table, products special offers, is a one to many relationship. Products being the one side, the bridge table being the many side. And then over here on special offers is the one side of the relationship. And the bridge table, which is product special offers here, is the many side of the relationship. So what this bridge table does for us here is you can see listed in each row is one of the many different connections between these two tables. So a bridge table is typically only foreign keys, where it's showing foreign keys of the two tables and how they come together. Sometimes it'll also have, similar to a slowly change in dimension, it'll also have effective dates, because sometimes they'll expire. They'll only be active during certain portions of time. So you may also see dates in there. But this kind of gives you an idea of what a bridge table might look like. Now, typically, you're going to need to know how these two systems come together, how these two tables come together. What is the history behind it? Where were there instances where mountain bike was part of a certain sale or helmet was part of another certain sale? The only way to really know that is to have that information built into the source system. So oftentimes you will find these bridge tables available in your data source, right? So you can browse through your data source, and you'll likely be able to find a table that looks similar to this. So I'm going to walk through an example of this in the AdventureWorks database. So let's go ahead. Before we do that, though, I want to go over some of these more common mistakes, common examples, and what that might look like in Power BI if you were to go through this. So you know what to look for when you may have done it wrong. If you notice something's not working right, you'll see some similarities there, and then you can walk through this tutorial and we can do it the proper way. So let's take a look at TimeXtender here. All right, so here I have the TimeXtender user interface. As you can see here, I'm working with a semantic model called product offers. It has sales transactions, order dates, and products dimension. Great. I want to bring in my special offers table and relate that here to my products dimension. So let's look through our data source and see what we can find. So let me scroll down here to the bottom. So as you can see, I actually have two different tables here, special offer and special offer product. All right, so let's go ahead. We can actually preview these tables to take a look at what's in them and see if it is in fact going to have what we need. So taking a look at the special offer table, you'll see here no discount, volume discount, sport helmet discount. So we have what appears to be our different sales. This is the discount percent, right? So these are the sales that we're looking for. This is the table that we need. Okay, let's go ahead and drag that in. Now let's also take a look at this table here, which is interesting, special offer product. Let's go ahead and preview that table as well. So if we take a look at this table, you'll notice, as I pointed out before, we simply have a set of 2 foreign keys. Now, the source system also identifies a modified date and a row GUID. We can kind of ignore those for our purposes. But what we're looking at is these 2 foreign keys. We have our special offer ID and our product ID. So these tell us when each special offer applied to a specific product. So we know that this is likely what we're looking for. Now, as I always recommend, you should do some validation before, try to do some queries, join these tables together, and compare it to your actual ERP system, whatever system you might be working with, to confirm that these in fact are the right numbers, the right tables that you're looking for. So let's go ahead and bring this in again. Or not again, but bring this new table in, special offer product. And I do have this perspective. I'm going to go ahead and disable that, and then we can see the new tables that I brought in. So I'm going to bring these down here. So we have special, and I'm going to put this right in the middle. Products, special offer product, and special offer. What I like to do for a naming convention here is put the prefix BR before this, because we know this is the bridge table. Some people put, dim or fact before a dimension or fact table. I like to put BR in front of the bridge table because I think it just points out to everybody what is the need for this, what is the reason for having this. And then what typically a lot of people will do is they'll simply do their relationships similar to how we've seen it done with other examples. If you remember back to our previous example, a few weeks back when we did the dimensional modeling video, we looked at denormalizing product categories, product subcategories into products. So if we were to do that same idea here, let's drag this product, a special offer ID this way, add new relationship, and then special offer ID this way, or not that, product ID rather, product ID this way. So denormalizing one to the many, kind of that way. And let's see how that works out for us. All right, let's go ahead and bring those 2 tables now into this dimension. Okay, we want to bring in this case, we actually don't need any fields, but I am going to bring one field in as hidden because we will need at least one hidden field for TimeXtender to recognize that. So we're going to use the product ID relationship here. And then let's bring in the special offer table. I just want to go ahead and bring in all these fields because we might need them. In this case, not our ID, not modified date, start date, and type. We may need some of these dates. So let's go ahead and bring those in. So special offer, and then we're going to use our special offer ID relationship right there. Okay, great. So we created our relationships, we denormalized. Now let's go ahead and deploy and execute. And let's see what we have. So let's deploy and execute. This will take us just a minute. Hit save. So why this goes through and is deploying, just as a reminder, what we're attempting to show right now is we are showing this part right here, right? This incorrect relationship setup. So we can see what that looks like if we were to do it incorrectly and then try to open that in Power BI. So we're done executing. Let's also take a look at our relationships here. We do see our relationships go into either table. That's good. Let's open up Power BI. Let's hit refresh. And now what I have here is a Power BI report, right? Different sales by description. I have products and special offers. So if I were to click one of these special offers, our hope is that it should show all the products that fit into that special offer. And this is a count here of the number of different products we have. So let's go ahead and click. Sport helmet discount, 295 products. Mountain 500, 295 products. Mountain tire sale, 295 products. So no matter what we click, it seems, we can even try the other direction too. Click through here. No matter what we're doing, it seems it's still showing everything. It's not filtering down like we would hope. So let's go ahead and take a look even at our model here to see if we can pinpoint maybe what's wrong. So again, we have our fact table, sales transaction, our dimension table, products, our special offer table with our bridge table in between. And as we can see here, this over just a little bit. Yeah. So as we can see here, we're going this way, and then this is coming this way. But we have an issue with the way that these are done, right? The relations are not done properly, and it's not filtering correctly. So let me show you how to do this properly. Let's go back to TimeXtender. And before I do, let's jump into our slides and we can see, if you do want to follow along with me here, what you're going to need. So of course, you're going to need TimeXtender. I am using the AdventureWorks data source. So all the tables I'm mentioning here, you'll be able to find in the AdventureWorks data source, and you can connect to that as a data source, pull those tables in and start working. I'm working with sales order detail, the products table, and then the special offer and special offer products table that you saw there. I'm also using Analysis Services Tabular and Power BI Desktop. So let's go ahead and go through our steps here. We're going to identify the tables that we need. We're going to create the correct table relationships. We're going to add our tables to the semantic model, and then we're going to edit the filter direction to ensure that we're filtering on both tables. And this is important, as you can see here. Let's go back into our examples right here. And this is what you're going to want, right? We're going to want this being the one side, this being the many, this being the one side, this being the many, and then this filter on our Analysis Services Tabular to filter to both tables. Let's see how that looks here in TimeXtender. So I do want to start over, right? Because I added some tables, I added some relationships. These really are not the relationships that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these relationships that I have in here, just so we can get a fresh, clean slate, because I want to show you how this is done properly. Okay, so again, same tables, but as you can see, I have my product dimension, my bridge table, and my special offer table. So as I mentioned before, the bridge table is always the many side of the relationship. So if we're following best practice, as we talk about in our dimensional modeling video, you want to drag from the one side of the relationship to the many. All right, so let's drag product ID down to the bridge table, one to the many. Yes. And again, same with here, special offer being the one side of the relationship to the many side of the relationship. Okay, we've done that. Now let's go ahead and bring in our tables. I'm going to drag in special offer, select all the fields that we want. Okay, and then no relationships there. And then let's bring in our bridge table. Okay, here we go. So we're going to bring in our bridge table. Again, you want to select at least one field, but you can hide that field because in fact, none of the information here is going to be super relevant for our reports, for our end reports. The bridge table really just sits behind the scenes to help make those connections. Okay, I'll click OK. And then, of course, TimeXtender is going to recommend those relationships nice for us. We have here products using product ID and special offer using special offer ID. I'll click OK, and we've added that now. So if I expand my bridge table, in fact, we will see here two different relationships, which is exactly what we want. One going to products, one going to special offer. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange this so we see it. So products, bridge to special offer. And then this is a very important step here. What we want to be sure that we're doing is going to filter direction, right click on that relationship, go to filter direction and click on to both tables. And we want to do the same to the other relationship, filter direction to both tables. Now what this is going to do is this is going to ensure that when you filter in Power BI, it's going to actually filter down that bridge table and reduce the number of entries that you see in the next related subsequent table over. So as you can see here, we're going to go back into Power BI. Actually, in fact, let's go ahead and deploy and execute first. Okay, so we've made our relationships, brought everything in. Let's hit start, and I'll hit save. Now let's go ahead and redeploy and execute the model now in the correct way. Give this just a second here to go ahead and execute. It's going to load all these different tables in there. Okay, great. So go ahead and close that up. Let's open up Power BI. I will hit refresh. Now, if you notice, you'll notice that these little icons changed here. We have an arrow going in both directions, and that's because, again, there's that filtering in both directions that's happening, right? Filtering in both directions. So we still have one to many, and we also see that our one to many is updated too, and filtering in both directions. So let's go ahead and go to our report, and let's see what we have. So now that we've refreshed, let's go ahead and try and click one of these to see what we have. Let's go ahead and click on our helmet discount. Wow, okay, so we're able to filter now. You can see only helmet products are now listed in there, and you can see our sales are actually updated properly. Click on the mountain bike sale. We have only mountain bikes listed. And then vice versa, we can of course click on our products here. Let's click on front brakes, try that. There's a couple of discounts it's related to. Let's try gloves. All right, so volume discount, great. So we see here, we're able to now filter across a many-to-many relationship in Power BI. Great. So I hope you all enjoyed this session. Please take a look at our YouTube channel. We have a brand new YouTube channel now. Please subscribe. This is exclusively for TimeXtender Tuesdays content. So if you're interested, if you enjoy TimeXtender Tuesdays, if you find it helpful, I would definitely encourage you to subscribe. And this way you can get notified about any new videos that are coming out, any new content. This is all educational tutorials focused on TimeXtender, how-tos, data warehousing, Azure, and Power BI. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.